Welcome to another episode of This Old Hoopty, where I take this piece of crap and try and turn it into something pretty. I hope. And today we're going to get rid of the last remnants of the gray and swap them over to black. I'm going to get rid of these seat belts, the buckles. I've already pulled out the passenger side and brought it over to the bench here. You're going to need to take these bolts out, so don't get rid of those if you take your seat belts out before your new seat belts get here. You're going to need these bolts and the ones in the floor as well to put into the new seat belts. So I picked up the all black single cab set, so it's black and red. It'll match nicely with the truck. We got the new buckles here. These use the existing bolts in the floor. We've got the whole middle seat set up. Once again, same thing, uses the existing buckles, uses the existing bolts from the floor. To install these, not much to it really. This bolt here comes unscrewed. You just got to tighten that down once you've got your angle correct. So give you a quick look at what these look like compared to the other ones. So here's a quick look of the size comparison to the originals that are in here. In addition to our black seat belts, we're going to add 2 USB 3 ports and a voltmeter, and we're going to get this swapped out with the cigarette lighter that's in the truck. I don't smoke, I don't use the lighter for anything, and I'd rather have this type of charger so that way I can just close it up, and when needed, they're right here. You can charge anything with a USB 3. So let's get this in the truck as well. So I'm pretty sure everyone knows how to do this by now, but in case you don't, to remove these seat belts, you pop this cap right here with a flathead screwdriver, just like that. It's got one single Torx head in there. The lower part has 1 Torx, and this has a standard nut. You can see that right there. So as you can see, I've already taken the passenger side out. Excuse me for the bright lights. Let's get this side out, and we'll get the new one in here. To get these bolts out, you need a T50 Torx head. Go. Much better. May not have crazy torque, but once you get it loose, or looser, you can use this. All right, this time, I'm just gonna break it loose by hand. Much easier. And that's it. We're going to need to reuse this bolt, like I said. So pull out your bolt. So the nuts and bolts we took out. Driver's side is ready to go in. The seat belts are clearly marked. See if you can see that there as driver and passenger. Once again, it's left open when it comes to you because this nut right here is left loose. That way you can adjust the angle depending upon which one of those holes you need based on your seats, how much angle you need. So I believe what's here is correct. So I'm gonna try and mount this way and check the angle. Give me 1 second. The original bolts snap right into the new hardware. As you can see here and here. And once we have that, the cover just snaps right on top once it's screwed down. All right, let's get these bolts in. Grab our covers. There we go. So you snap the cover over it once your bolt's in, and you're good to go. And we got these nice black seat belts. Now we just gotta deal with the alignment here and make sure when this pulls forward that it's at the right angle. So let's tighten this down a little bit. All right. Doesn't have to go all the way. We're just trying to check the angle for right now. So, as you can see, this bracket here is pitched forward at an angle. So this looks pretty good. Obviously the seat's got to slide back some. Wouldn't be driving with it like this, but everything looks correct. So let's take this back off. We'll tighten the nut inside. That way we can close this door up. So crazy as it is, this thing is still on its first charge. And if you look at the lights here, I still have 2 lights left. It's crazy. First battery. Haven't even put the other one in yet. Now, if you need wicked crazy torque, this is not the right tool. But if you want to screw and unscrew stuff really fast, or bolt and unbolt stuff, this thing's badass. So description's down below. I'm pretty sure it's the cheapest one you can find on Amazon of this brand, the Enertwist. And I've been using this to pull apart and put back together everything from the dash, everything interior-wise. They're tight. There. All right, now that we've got that cinched down, let's get these set up. And now let's log them in. That's where the seat would actually be. That's good to go. Nice. All right, so our first piece is in. It's a lot less bulky, and it definitely looks better, matching with the color swap we got going on here. Now let's get these swapped out. Now I did notice 2 little differences on the new set versus the old one. One, of course, is the wire for the seatbelt. Obviously, this is a problem because if you have on your dash the alert saying that your seatbelt's not buckled and this is unbuckled, or this is undone, then it's going to trigger on your dash showing that the seatbelt is not buckled. So you may have to jump these together if you're doing that, or find a set that actually have electronics in it, because these don't. The other difference is the 2 center seat belts here for the middle seat and the middle seat and the driver's seat are separate. So you're gonna have to just jump them together like so. That way it'll match the double set that you're taking out, because this is what I took out and this is what I'm putting in. Now remember, they each face different directions when you put them in on the top. Not really a huge deal. This one can twist this way, this one can twist that way. And like I said, this won't be used. Now, I don't believe I have a seatbelt alert in this 92. If I do, I'm gonna have to jump this. That way the truck thinks that the seatbelt is on. It's gonna go down this way. There. All right, let me find the socket for this, and I'll bolt these 2 back down, and then we can get our passenger side in real quick. Okay, since we know our driver's side is at the right angle, the default setting, right there, the peg is in the far right hole here. We're gonna leave our passenger side because it should be just as good. So I'm just gonna quickly tighten this down and then get this one installed and tighten those two center bolts down. All right, let's get a cover on. There we go. Nice black seatbelts. All right, guys, let me know what you think. These are the seatbelts from lmctruck.com. Really nice looking. They look factory. Obviously, forget about the seats. These seats are temporary, as I said, but they're as good as they're gonna get with the vinyl and Duplicolor. I have a very shiny light back here, as you can see by my hand, so that is changing them from black to a dark grayish black, but they're actually black. As you can see, all this hardware is nice and dark black. It's also glossy. Got a middle seat and seat belt, passenger seat, and the brackets. Really makes a difference getting that last bit of gray out of here. I can't wait for these new seats to come in next month or the end of this month, whenever the hell they ship them. If anybody else buys seats from shop4seats.com, just so you know, I ordered these in December or beginning of January this year, and they're still being manufactured. Apparently they're not going to be shipped out until the end of this month, so I guess things are slow in California, which is where that comes from. But let's get a quick look. You can see how everything matches up in here. Much better than what it was. Let's get the wheel back in. All right, see all the new shine. A new wheel. Everything's looking good now. It's a little dark in here. I really like the way these look. They're smaller, and the cool thing is now you can get these in and out without having to take this off. Before, the seatbelts were sitting on top of this, and it makes it very hard, if not impossible, to get to that bolt right there, to get to that screw right there. So now I can take this in and out, which is good because this week I'm going to be running another cable from here back to here, a nice 4 gauge for the amplifiers, and then some speaker wire. All right. Let's get on to the next. Let's take this out because we are going to put USB 3 chargers and a voltmeter right here. So we're going to use our existing cigarette lighter cable here. We're going to cut this and we're going to rework it into what we're connecting. So let's widen out this hole right here and step it up to where it will fit the diameter of this. Let me get this on the tripod. So I'm not going to use this weatherproof cap because mine is inside the ashtray. So I'm going to take this off. That way when you open the ashtray, you can turn on this power and it'll light it all up. That's how I want mine to be. I'm just going to take this and I'm going to mark it off how much bigger it is right here, and then I'll step it up until it matches. Once you undo the little bolt that's inside here, you'll be able to pull the cigarette lighter right out. Okay. So, on the back of this cigarette lighter, there's a little threaded bolt here. You just got to get this nut off right here. Just got to get this little nut off the back of this post, and you can pull it right out. Let's start widening out this hole, and then we'll clean the whole thing. Nut here. We're going to use this threaded nut so we can gauge the size of our new hole. We're just going to line this up in here and then get it set. That way we can screw this nut on from the back. I'm going to use a step bit. I'm going to use a step bit so we can get right up in there. There we go. So this is going to be our phone chargers, laptop chargers, whatever needs to be charged. Well, not laptop chargers, but phone charger, tablet charger, and there's a digital multimeter right in the middle there. So we're going to get this cleaned up and then install this. All right, it's all cleaned up now. Let's get our meter and our USB plugs installed in here, like so. And we'll thread this on from the back. There. Okay, let's get that wired up and back in the truck. All right. Now, since this is going to be opening and closing right here, just going to wrap this with some loom and a little bit of tape, so this way it doesn't burn through into this metal here. Probably get a piece of hose and just put it right across here. This way this rubs against the hose instead of against here. Nice. All right, let's get that in the truck. We're going to cut off the original cigarette lighter, the electrical harness, and we're going to wire that into our new USB 3 and voltmeter connection. There we go. All right. There we go. We got voltage. Turn it off. Turn it on. Okay. As you can see, we've got our wires spliced in. And we've got our voltmeter connected, as well as our USB 3 charging ports. So we're going to turn this on by pushing the button there. 12.2 volts. There we go. And now we are going to connect my cell phone and make sure we get fast charging. There we go. Fast charging right there. As you can see right there, fast charging. So like in here, all the tech is going to be hidden behind the glove box. This way everything looks, from out here, a stock 1992 truck, except for the radio. When you start opening the dash bits, we've got our charger with our USB connections. Next time I'm going to get some switches and stuff mounted up in here. So this way I've got my switches in the open space in the top here. I can just flip them. Got room for 3 or 4 up there and 1 or 2 toggles on the back. I don't want any of the switches and whatnot showing on the dash or underneath the dash. I'm going to mount them all hidden in here. 2 relays and a junction box behind the glove box here. That's going to do it for today's video. I'm happy with how things turned out. I can now charge my cell phone in the car, and I have matching black seat belts for the interior. If you could, do me a favor, hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, hit that notification bell so you know the next time I release my videos. I've also set up an Instagram account so that way I can do my weekly updates. That way, in between posting videos and whatnot, and as the products come in to go into this truck and other cars, I will be posting it on my Instagram account prior to putting it on eBay. Prior to putting it on YouTube. I will also be posting the finished work on Instagram prior to it being released on YouTube. So if you want a sneak peek at stuff, or you're just interested in following along, check in the description below. There's a link to my Instagram account. It's eJaffe Projects, and I will also put it on the screen below here. When this video is over, do me a favor, take a look in my playlist and check out the other videos to see where we got to today and descriptions of where we're going. Once again, thank you for tuning in. I'll see you next time.